The contacts were not random traffic. They were moving with purpose, sliding into position directly across the carrier's projected track through international waters. Venezuelan warships were forming a wall. What the commanders on those ships did not understand was that they had just made a catastrophic error in judgment. Challenging a nuclear-powered American supercarrier is not a test of courage or resolve. It is a confrontation governed by cold, unforgiving mathematics. Within 90 seconds, the atmosphere aboard the carrier changed completely. General quarters sounded. Watertight doors slammed shut. Damage control teams ran for their stations. On the bridge, officers watched the tactical display as the situation unfolded faster than any political briefing ever could. 6 Venezuelan naval vessels moved into a deliberate intercept formation, one that analysts would later describe as either exceptionally bold or dangerously reckless. At the center of the formation was the frigate Almirante Brian, a 3,200-ton modified Lupo-class warship acquired from Italy in the 1980s. Once a respectable combatant, she now represented the upper limit of Venezuela's surface fleet. Supporting her were 4 Guayquerí-class patrol boats and a single Constitution-class corvette. Each carried aging automat anti-ship missiles with a maximum range of roughly 180 kilometers, assuming ideal targeting conditions that did not exist in this encounter. The ships had departed Puerto Cabello under direct orders from Caracas. Demonstrate national sovereignty. Do not yield to American pressure. The commanders understood the political message. What they could not see from their radar screens was the full reality forming around them. The USS George Washington alone displaced more tonnage than Venezuela's entire operational surface fleet combined. And she was not alone. While Venezuelan operators focused on the massive carrier return dominating their displays, American systems had already enveloped them from above, below, and beyond the horizon. Aboard the destroyers USS Porter and USS Carney, the Aegis combat systems activated automatically. SPY-1D phased array radars swept the sky and sea, and within 0.3 of a second, every Venezuelan vessel was detected, classified, and continuously tracked. The Aegis network can monitor more than 100 targets simultaneously and guide dozens of SM-2 missiles with pinpoint accuracy at ranges exceeding 170 kilometers. Firing solutions for all 6 Venezuelan ships were already calculated and updated every 0.05 of a second. Kill probability exceeded 95% per target. The Venezuelan ships, by contrast, relied on British DA-08 air search radars designed in the 1970s. Against modern low-flying threats, these systems struggled to provide reliable detection beyond 60 kilometers and offered nothing close to fire control quality data. The gap between the two forces was not measured in years. It was measured in generations. Each American destroyer carried 96 vertical launch cells loaded with Tomahawk cruise missiles, SM-2 air defense interceptors, and ASROC anti-submarine weapons. The Venezuelan commanders had no indication that they were already targeted, locked, and could be neutralized before their own systems completed a single engagement cycle. And the most dangerous element was still invisible. 30 feet beneath the surface, a Virginia-class attack submarine held position in complete silence. She had maneuvered into the perfect spot between the Venezuelan formation and their nearest naval base. Costing more than $3.4 billion per hull, these submarines represent the quiet end of modern naval warfare. Her sonar suite could detect a Venezuelan diesel engine hundreds of meters away while remaining virtually undetectable herself, thanks to pump jet propulsion and advanced acoustic isolation. Venezuela technically operated 2 German-built Type 209 submarines, but both had been sidelined for years due to maintenance failures and lack of spare parts. Underwater dominance belonged entirely to the United States. The submarine carried Tomahawk missiles and Mk-48 heavyweight torpedoes, each capable of breaking a frigate in half with a single hit. Her commander had already plotted firing solutions and escape routes. What no one aboard the Venezuelan ships knew was that this submarine had been tracking them for more than 72 hours. As dawn approached, the situation in Caracas began to unravel. Secure phone lines between the Ministry of Defense and the Almirante Brian filled with increasingly urgent calls. Intelligence briefings arriving at the presidential palace painted a picture far more complete than anything visible at sea. Russian military advisors embedded with Venezuelan forces reportedly urged immediate de-escalation after satellite reconnaissance confirmed the full composition of the American carrier strike group. The numbers were impossible to ignore. Venezuela's total defense budget for 2024 stood at roughly $438 million. A single American carrier strike group represents more than $30 billion in assets and costs over $6.5 million per day to operate. Senior Venezuelan naval officers began circulating worst-case assessments. If hostilities began, the entire blockading force could be neutralized in under 7 minutes. Then came the moment that nearly crossed the line. At 5:47 hours, one Guaycari-class patrol boat activated its fire control radar, painting the USS George Washington with targeting emissions. In naval doctrine, this act is considered one step below actually firing a weapon. The American response was instantaneous. Electronic warfare systems detected the emission in microseconds. Countermeasures initiated automatically. Within 8 seconds, missile locks were achieved on all 6 Venezuelan vessels, and threat data was shared across every platform in the strike group. The carrier went to full defensive alert. 4 FA-18 Super Hornets on deck alert were cleared for immediate launch. Combat Air Patrol aircraft already airborne received weapons-free authorization pending confirmation of hostile intent. For 22 seconds, the margin between peace and combat was razor-thin. Then, the Venezuelan radar shut down. Those 22 seconds were the closest either side came to open conflict, and neither nation's public would ever know how close it truly was. The resolution came quietly. The Venezuelan commander aboard Almirante Bryan made a decision that likely saved every ship under his command. He contacted the American carrier on International Channel 16 and announced that his patrol mission had been completed. His formation would now return to port after demonstrating Venezuelan maritime sovereignty. The wording was careful, calculated, face-saving. Venezuelan state television later broadcast footage of their ships at sea, claiming they had successfully challenged American aggression. American officials noted simply that foreign vessels cleared the transit corridor without incident. Intelligence intercepts later revealed the commander had been threatened with court-martial if he withdrew, yet faced the same fate if his ships were damaged. He chose survival. The USS George Washington continued her transit through international waters without firing a single shot. The confrontation ended not with explosions, but with restraint. For every regional navy watching, the lesson was unmistakable. Modern naval warfare is not decided by slogans or symbolism. It is decided by detection, integration, and mathematics. And mathematics does not negotiate.